Have you ever felt like this before? Your home looks nicer than it used to. The living room has flowers, has plants. It feels really chill. But strangely, when you get home, you don't feel recharged. You don't sleep deeply. Your head feels heavy a lot. You make money, yes, but it's very hard to keep it. And here's the thing. Sometimes the culprit isn't your job, not other people, but the flower pots you're placing in your living room. The living room isn't just where you host guests or watch TV. It's the center of your entire home. It's where your emotions, thoughts, and daily rhythm get reset every day. Anything you place here impacts your body and mind quietly but constantly. A lot of people choose flowers based on scent, based on how expensive they look, based on word of mouth that they bring good feng shui. But very few people ask one simple question. Why is it that inside your own home, your body still feels tense all the time?
Hello, I'm David Feng Shui. I'm 70 years old with over 30 years of experience in modern feng shui. No superstition, just psychology, energy, and real-life alignment. I've helped thousands of people regain balance, money flow, luck, and happiness in their lives. And if you're ready to refresh your energy, welcome. You're in the right place.
Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and comment. This energy affirmation: I choose a living space that nourishes my energy and my wealth. Now it's time to remove the types of flowers you shouldn't place in the living room, not because they're ugly or not classy, but because they don't match the role of this space. If you place them wrong, they will quietly make you more tired every single day. 1. Fake flowers, fake plants. Fake flowers and fake plants are something a lot of people put in the living room without a second thought. They look nice, they're neat, they don't need care, and they never wilt. No matter when you look, the house always seems well put together, but that always perfect feeling is the biggest problem. Fake flowers create a space that looks alive, but in reality, it's completely still. And the human brain is extremely sensitive to that. Our brains are wired to respond to life, to things that grow, change, and react to the environment. When you place objects in your living room that look alive but never develop, your brain records a very clear signal. This is a space with no real vitality. You don't realize it consciously, but your body can feel it. When you live for a long time in a living room full of fake flowers, you'll notice yourself slowing down without knowing why. It's harder to start something new, easier to procrastinate, easier to let things pass without the motivation to change. The space looks beautiful, but it doesn't encourage action. It doesn't encourage creativity. It doesn't encourage moving forward. This is a very harmful mental state for wealth, because money needs alertness, initiative, and decisiveness. When your mind gets used to being still, money comes in and then slips right back out. The danger of fake flowers is that they don't bother you right away. They don't make you feel clearly tired. They create background fatigue, the kind of tiredness that makes you get used to living at a lower level than your real potential. You don't feel exhausted, but you don't feel excited either. You don't collapse, but you don't rise up. And that's the state a lot of people stay stuck in for years. Beyond the psychological side, fake flowers also come with a very practical issue. Most fake flowers are made from plastic, synthetic fabric, and industrial paint. In a closed living room with the AC running often, these materials can release light compounds into the air. You don't smell anything strong, but your body still has to process it every day. Your nervous system has to work harder than it needs to, and silent fatigue starts building from there. The living room is where you need to recover after a long day. It's where your body should feel safe, alive, and flowing. Fake flowers break that by creating a space that's pretty, but static. Enough to look at, not enough to nourish you. Fake flowers aren't bad, but putting fake flowers in the living room is a wrong choice for the role of that space. You can use them in a store, a showroom, a place that needs an image. But the living room is where you live every day, and anything without real-life energy, when placed in the center of daily living, will quietly pull your energy down. If you want your living room to truly help you recover, stay sharp, and keep your wealth, fake flowers should be the first thing to remove, not because of superstition, but because your body deserves a space that is alive, not a space that is pretending to be alive. 2. Flowers plants that are too tall, too big. A lot of people believe the bigger the plant, the better. The taller it is, the more power it has. The living room looks more luxurious. But the truth is, the living room is not a place to display strength. This is where people need to loosen up after a long day. And plants that are too tall and too big do the opposite. They create pressure. When a large plant takes up most of your field of view, your brain constantly receives a signal of being blocked. You don't think about it, but your body does. Your shoulders don't fully relax. You sit down and still feel restless. Your thoughts don't flow, like there's always something pressing in the air. This is a real biological reaction, not a vague feeling. The living room is where you need to restore energy, not where your body has to stay on alert. But an oversized plant keeps your nervous system in a half-defensive state, not tense enough for you to notice, but enough that you never truly rest. And when you don't rest the right way, everything else starts to shift. Your focus drops. Your decisions slow down. You hesitate more. You miss good timing more easily. You choose the safe option instead of the right option. In finances, this is very dangerous because money needs clarity and decisiveness. A living room that gets overwhelmed by a huge plant often blocks your thinking flow. And when thinking gets blocked, cash flow struggles to move too. And there's more. A plant that's too tall can also block natural light. When light is cut off, your body's biological rhythm gets affected. You get tired earlier. You feel sleepy during the day. At night, it becomes harder to sleep deeply. A dim space also makes your mood heavier, and you start living in a state of constantly holding tension without knowing why. Big plants also collect dust easily. Large leaves, tall trunks, hard to clean. Dust building up makes the air feel heavier, especially in a closed living room with the AC running often. Your body has to process more than it needs to. And silent fatigue starts stacking up from tiny details like that. A lot of people who live in a living room with an oversized plant say the same thing. I don't know why, but I still feel tired when I get home. They think it's work, age, stress. But very few people look back at their living space. Very few people suspect the plant standing right in the middle of the living room, taking up the view and the breathing space every day. A proper living room should make you feel open, light, and safe. When you walk in, you should exhale before you think again. But a plant that's too tall and too big does the opposite. It makes you hold your breath slightly, even if it's just for a moment. And when that repeats every day, your body slowly gets more tired without a clear reason. Big plants aren't bad, but putting a big plant in the wrong place is a serious mistake. The living room doesn't need too much. It needs just enough. In a living space, Too big is often more dangerous than too little, because it takes away the most important thing, the feeling of comfort when you come home. 3. Flowers with a scent that's too strong. Flowers with an overly strong scent are one of the most common reasons people stay home and still don't feel comfortable. The issue isn't whether the flowers are pretty or not. The issue is that the human body wasn't designed to live for long periods in an environment with a constant strong smell. Even if that smell is called pleasant, relaxing, or luxurious, your nervous system still has to process it every second. And that processing costs real energy. Smell is a sense that connects directly to the part of the brain that controls emotions and survival reactions. When a strong floral scent fills the living room, the brain gets no break. It can't fully shut off the ability to smell. It can only endure it. This creates a long-lasting background tension. Not big enough to feel irritating right away, but enough to keep your body from ever truly relaxing. The living room is supposed to be where you slow down after a long day. But when the scent takes over the whole space, that slowing down process gets blocked. You sit down, but your shoulders stay tight. Your breathing stays shallow. Your body can't enter deep rest. At night, you sleep enough hours, but the sleep feels thin. You wake up without feeling restored. Your mind isn't as sharp. This isn't just in your head. This is a clear physical response. A scent that's too strong also directly affects emotions. When the brain has to handle nonstop sensory stimulation, your tolerance drops. You get irritated more easily. You lose patience faster. You react strongly to very small things. Not because your personality changed, but because your nervous energy was already drained. When emotions are unstable, financial behavior gets pulled along too. You spend based on feelings more easily. You shop to release pressure. You make decisions when your mind isn't clear enough. This isn't a lack of discipline. This is a natural response when the body is trying to unload stress. One very important point that few people notice: many flowers release their strongest scent in the afternoon and evening. This is exactly when the body needs less stimulation to prepare for rest. When the scent keeps hitting you, the transition from active mode to rest gets interrupted. You sleep, but you don't recover enough. The next day starts with a lower energy level than normal, and the tired loop keeps repeating. A good living room doesn't need to smell good. It needs to be neutral, clean, airy, easy to breathe in. A neutral space helps the nervous system regulate and recover. When a strong floral scent takes over the living room, you lose your sensory safe zone. And your body pays the price little by little. Every day, flowers with a scent that's too strong won't make you sick right away, but they slowly make you more tired, more irritable, and less clear-headed. In a space you live in long-term, that's a very expensive price for a smell that seems harmless. 4. Flowers plants that easily get waterlogged. Root rot. Some plants still look green and healthy on the outside, but inside, the roots have already started to rot. When roots rot, the environment around the plant becomes damp and heavy. This is very dangerous because it doesn't show up right away. You see green leaves. The stem is still standing. The plant is still alive, but the space around it has already started to decline. Roots are where a plant exchanges air, water, and nutrients. When roots get waterlogged and rot, that exchange breaks down. The soil in the pot becomes trapped, wet, and low in oxygen. Harmful microorganisms begin to grow. The air around the plant becomes heavier, even if you don't smell anything obvious. And the human body is extremely sensitive to this kind of environment. The living room is a closed space where you spend many hours every day. When you place a root-rotting plant here, you're living with a constant source of stagnant moisture. The body doesn't react immediately with illness. It reacts with long-term fatigue. You feel low energy. It's hard to focus. Working for a while drains you. Your mind feels slower than usual. This kind of tiredness is hard to explain because there's no clear cause. The most dangerous part of root rot is the feeling that everything is still fine. The home still looks nice. The plant still looks green. But inside, it has already started to break down. This directly affects your mindset. You become more willing to accept stagnation. You get used to things moving slowly. You lose the drive to bounce back. And when your mind gets used to being stuck, life slows down with it. In finances, this effect is very clear. On the outside, you still have income. But inside, you can't build savings. Money comes in, then gets used to handle problems. There are always unexpected expenses. There's always a sense of lack, even when you're trying hard. It's exactly like a plant that has to pour all its energy into fighting damaged roots, with no strength left to grow further. Plants that easily get waterlogged usually require very strict care. Just a little too much watering, or placing them somewhere with poor airflow, and the roots start breaking down. In the living room, where many people run the AC and keep doors closed often, the risk is even higher. A plant like that doesn't bring life. It brings stagnation. A proper living room needs dryness, airflow, and stability. This space should make your body feel lighter when you walk in. But a root-rotting plant creates a damp, heavy background. That's hard to see with your eyes. You don't notice it, but your body can feel it. And the body always reacts before the mind fully understands. Flowers and plants that easily get waterlogged won't destroy you overnight. They slow you down, make you more tired, make you less sharp, and in a space you live in every day. That stagnation builds up fast. So if a plant looks beautiful, but keeps getting waterlogged, has weak roots, and the soil is always wet, the problem isn't that you're not caring for it well enough. The problem is that it's not suitable to place in the living room. 5. Plants that are mildly toxic. Mildly toxic flowers usually don't cause harm right away. They don't make you sick instantly. They don't create an obvious sense of danger. That's exactly why so many people feel comfortable placing them in the living room. But the problem with mildly toxic flowers and plants isn't the level of toxicity. The problem is the defensive state your body is forced to maintain every day. The human body reacts very quickly to hidden risk, even if you don't consciously notice it. When there's something in your living space that could cause harm, your body automatically raises its alert level, not high enough to panic, but enough that your nervous system never fully relaxes. The living room is supposed to be the safest place in the home, but when there's a mildly toxic plant there, that sense of safety gets quietly worn down. This impact is the clearest when there are small children or pets in the house. You always have to watch, always have to remind, always have to keep an eye on it. Because of that, your body never gets a real moment of rest, even if it's just low-level background worry. When it lasts every day, it drains a huge amount of mental energy. When you live a long time in this light defensive mode, you'll notice you get tired more easily than normal. You get irritated faster. You feel tense more often. You react strongly to small things, not because you became more difficult, but because your nervous system has been kept in alert mode for too long. And when your mental energy gets drained, Your ability to think clearly drops with it. This directly affects decisions in life, especially financial ones. When your mind isn't truly calm, it's hard to make clear decisions. You act too quickly. You spend money to release pressure. You choose the fast solution instead of the right one. Not because you lack discipline, but because your body is trying to reduce stress. Beyond the psychological side, many mildly toxic plants also release sap or pollen that can cause irritation. Not everyone reacts right away, but with long-term exposure in a closed space, the risk of buildup is still there. The living room is a place where air doesn't circulate non-stop like it does outdoors. That makes the effect more persistent. A good living room shouldn't be a place where you have to stay guarded. It should be a place where you can exhale without thinking. When that space contains a potential risk, even a small one, your body still records it, and that signal keeps you from ever resting fully. Mildly toxic flowers and plants aren't bad, but they don't belong in the living room. They fit better outdoors, on a balcony, or in a low-contact area. Putting them in the center of daily living is giving them the wrong role. And when the role is wrong, the consequences will come. Even if slowly, mildly toxic flowers won't make you sick overnight, but they keep you living in a long-term state of alertness, and in a space you're in every day. That state quietly wears down your energy, your calm, and your ability to stay balanced in life. There's a truth that very few people dare to say out loud. Most problems in life don't come from bad luck, and they don't come from you not trying hard enough. They come from the baseline state you live in every day, and that baseline state is created directly by your living space, especially your living room. People don't live on willpower 24 hours a day. Most of the time, the body runs on habits, reflexes, and unconscious sensing. Your brain is constantly scanning the environment around you to answer one basic question. Is it safe here? Do I need to stay alert? Can I relax? You don't hear that question in your mind, but your body answers it every second. When your living room contains things that don't fit the role of the space, your body never fully relaxes. Not clearly stressed, but always slightly tense. And this is the most dangerous kind of tension, because you get used to it, you live with it, and you start to think that's just the normal state of adult life. Here's the truth. Few people say, when your body stays in long-term background tension, your ability to recover drops. You sleep, but don't recharge enough. You rest, but don't feel lighter. You work, but get tired quickly. And when your baseline energy is low, every decision in life gets affected. In this state, it's hard to be patient, hard to think long-term, hard to keep money, hard to stay calm in moments where you need clarity, not because you're weak, but because your brain is prioritizing survival over growth. A lot of people ask why they always feel busy, but don't feel like they're moving forward. Always trying, but the results don't match. Part of the answer is in the place they return to every day, the living room. If your living room doesn't help you slow down, then it's quietly pulling you down. Even if you don't believe in Feng Shui, so what's the solution? The solution isn't buying more things. It isn't decorating in a complicated way. And it's definitely not the more plants, the better. The solution is the right role. The living room isn't a place to experiment. It's not a showroom. It's not a place to perform. It's where your body needs to feel the safest. So everything in the living room has to answer one simple question. Does this help me breathe easier? The first solution is to reduce stimulation, less scent, fewer oversized items, Fewer things that demand your attention nonstop. A good living room doesn't make you look at a lot. It lets your eyes rest. It lets your brain rest. The second solution is to keep things neutral. Neutral doesn't mean boring. Neutral means not forcing emotion, not too stimulating, not too heavy. When the space is neutral, your emotions have room to regulate themselves. The third solution is to prioritize real life. If you have plants, choose plants that are healthy, easy to care for, and low risk. No waterlogging, no toxins, no strong scent, not taking up too much space. A good plant doesn't need to impress anyone. It just needs to not create pressure. The fourth solution is easy breathing, natural light, airflow, less dust, less dampness. The human body reacts strongly to openness. Even if you don't notice, an airy living room can clearly improve your mood without adding anything at all. The fifth solution is a sense of control. When you look around your living room and everything feels manageable, your brain feels safe. Nothing too tall, nothing too hard to clean, nothing that makes you worry if there are kids or pets. Modern Feng Shui isn't about believing or not believing. It's about how your body responds when the space is right. You don't have to try to feel okay. You just live. A lot of people realize something very clear after adjusting their living room. They don't feel heavy when they get home anymore. They sleep deeper. They get less irritated. Their mind feels brighter when handling work and money. There's no magic, just the body being returned to its natural state. Here's the truth. Few people say, you don't need more motivation. You need less energy leakage. And the fastest way to leak less energy is to start with the space you live in every day. When the living room becomes a place where you truly rest, everything else starts to adjust on its own. Not instantly, but steadily. And that is the real foundation for a stable life. A clear mind, and the ability to keep what you create. Flowers aren't bad. Plants aren't wrong. The only mistake is putting them in the wrong place. A plant placed in the right spot can make your home feel easier to breathe in. But that same plant, when placed in the wrong role, can make your living room feel heavy, cramped, and draining, without you even realizing it. Modern Feng Shui isn't about believing or not believing. Modern Feng Shui is about understanding how your body responds to your living environment every day. When your living room is arranged the right way, you don't have to try to relax. You just come home. It feels lighter, more open. Your mind feels clearer, like the space has been reset back into your rhythm. And from that foundation, everything else in life becomes easier to fall back into place. If you found this helpful, please subscribe and comment. This energy affirmation: I allow my living space to nourish positive energy and clarity every day. Thank you for staying until the end. Wishing you a living room that feels light, open, and truly easy to live in.